I'm here. Wait, is this good? Eyelash is holding on for its dear life. Sorry. Well, thank you for waiting. Love you. There's a lot of background noise. It's like so loud. So I have good news and I have bad news. I feel like I'm the most chaotic bitch on YouTube. Just in my world. We can't react to videos because I was in jail. I love saying that. Hi, Dad. Which is fine because I think stressing me out. You're pregnant. Yeah, right. Virgin Mary, baby. Princess. Sorry, princess. I'm coming. Jesus. Hopefully that link works. I just realized I'm going to have to refresh the page. If it doesn't. Hold up. What were we going to do? I don't know if we had anything planned. Wait. Chat, and all of a sudden YouTube was saying the stream was taken down. Yeah, copyright. They're just jealous. I'm just kidding. I literally think that's so funny. Yeah, we can't react to Comedy Central. It's fine. You can just say you're boring. We get it. Do you guys like this? It's a sarong. I'm trying to be modest. I'm just kidding. Any prison tats? No. I can't even be cool. I don't have that many subscribers, you know? Fuck you. I'm just kidding. This is my own fault. I knew better. I knew it while I was doing it too. Like, you probably shouldn't do that. But here I am. But whatever, I had fun on the break. So it's fine. What is going on? What is going on today? Anything good? I've been listening to a lot of content, but nothing that has sparked anything other than you're boring. Anybody have anything good? Do you see this? Gravity, baby. Gravity. I can probably... Well, Jesus, I need a manager or a man. I don't know. Kidding. Chaos. Anyways, it is October 4th. Is today Sartain's birthday? Happy birthday, Sartain. Love you. Or was it yesterday? I don't know. Should we go to see? Is his birthday this week or is it the end of... I'm done. 40 is the new 20. Thanks. Hi, Princess. God damn. God bless.
Hello.
Hello.
Speaking of new man, here I am.
We found one. Yay. You want to lead this shit? What are we doing? We didn't decide on anything, did we? Because I have our text conversation on my computer and then the one on my phone.
You're out of me tab. Okay, there you go. Audio should be good. Well, yeah, you were saying, what are we going to talk about? We never even got to what we were talking about yesterday. What
were we going to do?
Gamergate 2.0. It's, really, like all things, like all controversies, really everything. It's all a cycle. Everything comes back every 10 years, every 20 years, and just a new with new packaging. And we're seeing that in many ways, and this is another one.
What do you think that the purpose for it is?
Oh, wait, sorry, repeat that. I did not hear you.
What do you think the purpose of cyclical or recycling of content? Like, why do you think people do that? Why does it come up in a new medium? Are we talking about the same thing? I'm tired.
Yeah, I think it's a good question. Yeah, why are things like this? I mean, part of it probably comes down to maybe even determinism. Maybe people are like just determined to kind of find these cycles or these loops they kind of find themselves put into. But I think in this case, it's a little bit more cultural, and it's definitely a little bit more of a reaction to the current trend, which I can say that's a little unique as far as if we look at the past history, like the whole like woke thing. That's definitely new, and a lot of this in the gaming sector is a reaction to that, especially the more recent news.
Who first defined reactionary? Like, who's the first to be like, this is, because that came up randomly over the past like 2 years. And I'm just like, I've never heard that word before. I mean, it makes sense.
I'm sure it already existed, but it probably got used a lot more.
Yeah, like, was it used to describe, like, who do you think? Well, I guess we can't really say who first described it.
Let me see if I can look up anything. I know you like ChatGPT. I recommend Perplexity.
I heard you yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
About it.
Yeah. It's more accurate. And you can even like do like academic sources if you want to.
I mostly get stuck using Bing. I hate Bing with a fucking everything is ChatGPT is better than Bing. Bing sucks. Bing is just like a what do you call it? What is Google?
Well, it doesn't. Microsoft owns ChatGPT or owns OpenAI, so it should be similar, but I don't know.
Have you ever used Bing? Before you make that claim, have you ever used
I've
Bing?
Mostly used ChatGPT.
Don't even. It sucks. It sucks so bad. It like sends you all of the ad stuff first. It'll be like sponsored. I know you can shut that shit off, but I also tried to shut off Bing and it won't go away. So Bing,
I mean, Google had some really bad results also. So
really,
did you hear that story? Oh yeah, because like when it first came out, Google's AI results, like it wasn't really good at sourcing accurate sources. Like it was like quoting like meme like Reddit posts.
I'm just talking about the search engine.
Well, that's what I mean. Like it would like if you did a search engine, like
I forgot that it has one.
Pizza. It'd be like, oh, sometimes it's like because of the AI snippet. Like sometimes you can put glue on a pizza to make the cheese really stick.
The fuck? Yeah, no.
Someone on Reddit like made that joke.
Yeah, I was just comparing the Bing search engine to ChatGPT, but I don't really go to ChatGPT to like source a lot. Because I remember doing that 2 years ago and it brought me to blank links. Did they ever fix it?
I mean, because I always try to ask for sources. My experience is I've like ChatGPT will like give me a stat with a source. Then I'll go to the source and like the stat will be wrong. So like, I just don't trust stats given by
numbers.
ChatGPT, where Perplexity it could be inaccurate, but they're things like they say they're way more accurate than ChatGPT, and they also are really good about giving you the direct sources.
What's going on where it's getting inaccurate data? Like what's going on in the deterministic framework?
I don't know. I know that sometimes they say like this hallucinations.
ChatGPT hallucinates. Why has no one told me? This is my. Well,
I think it happens more like the more complex, the more data it has to go through. So, and it'll get better, or that'll happen less over time. But maybe that's why. But I'm not exactly sure.
I don't like.
But they're releasing new models all the time, so it'll get better over time.
How many models are there?
Now they're on 4, ChatGPT 4.
What?
Yeah, even if you go to ChatGPT's website, like it should say like the model version at the top.
Yeah.
And if you're using the latest, it's 4.0 or something.
Yeah. That's what I've been using. It says 4.0 with Canvas, 01 preview, 01 mini, more models. There's a 4 mini? What's the difference between mini?
I'm not sure what's between all of them. I think there's some slight differences, but honestly, I'm not an expert, so.
I feel like it should start not being like superfluous, whatever that word is. I hate that thing. I don't even know what it means.
The bigger number, better. I think that's true.
Yeah. It just kind of like, sometimes it goes into way too much shit. I'm just like, I'm all about nuance, baby. I think ChatGPT, side note, I think ChatGPT is good for society. I've been saying it. I feel like it's going to help people not fall into like radical thinking patterns, or it's going to help people with social anxiety Google some shit on how to do this before they go into like the grocery store. I feel like it has a lot of good things coming from it. But
I hope so. I can see a lot of other sides also.
like,
well, how do you feel like what about like learned help? I can't fucking talk today. 1 second.
No, you're good. Learned helplessness.
Learned helplessness. Yeah, that word.
Mm-hmm. You think ChatGPT puts you there?
Well, it's already happening now where everyone can Google anything, but like if you can like literally have AI do anything for you, why do you need to learn to do that?
I feel like it promotes creativity, because you have to be creative on, if you want a specific thing and it keeps giving you this one outcome, you're going to have to think more abstractly to get the outcome you desire. Whether people do it or not is dependent on their environment. So I don't know. I guess, yeah, but I think those people would have been learned helpless regardless in some other medium or fashion. I don't know.
I mean, I like AI. I'm kind of addicted to it, but yeah, I wonder if it'll end up being a net positive or negative. We'll have to wait and find out.
I don't know. I've been really excited for AI. I want a robot in my house eventually. Do you or no?
Well, this might be a slight tangent, but I love AI. I think it's really overhyped also.
Really?
Yeah, like I think it's not nearly as good as people think. Like, well, even ChatGPT, like it fucks up all the time.
Yeah. But what's wrong with that? Then it forces you to actually do the work, right? Even though you have the answers.
A lot of people just don't know that it's inaccurate, and like they'll literally copy and paste and just like, oh yeah, it's completely right. Or like, I just knew someone who was in like education, and they like thought they could just like trust like online. There's like things where like you'll put the homework there and it like looks for AI, but they're notoriously inaccurate. Like they're really bad at catching AI. And actually, there's some stats that show like actually if you're like a non-native English speaker, you're more likely to get hit in these like trackers, even if it's actually written by even if it's actually written by the person. So, but like teachers don't know this, and then they're like, oh yeah, this company, because the companies can be like, oh yeah, it's very accurate. We're very reliable, not knowing like a lot of students are just gonna get dinged for stuff that's not necessarily AI.
How is it detecting for AI though? That like, what's the process? Do you know?
I think, and this is over my head, but talking to AI experts, like there actually would not even be a great way to like actually do that besides like just like finding blatant plagiarism.
Right.
But you really couldn't detect like.
Is that a moral dilemma though? Is it a moral dilemma if it's not, you're not plagiarizing from an actual person?
I mean, I think that's a whole different topic, but
it is.
Yeah, well, I'll move with you, but I guess we had kind of to adapt our education and homework system to like just work around ChatGPT, because people are going to be using that to do their homework forever now.
Yeah, I wrote about this phenomenon on Substack. I got into like fucking abstract thinking, just hardcore. I'm just like, what are the differences between how kids were growing up with the computers, but they could shut them off at a certain point. You know, not everybody was online 24/7. There weren't creators online 24/7 that you would talk to. So we had like an off period. What do you do with the kids now that don't have the off period? Should we have more transparency with creators? You know how like people still try to keep some stuff private? It's like, what if that's actually harming this type of generation? I went into a whole thing. I'm just thinking.
What would they keep private?
Just like stuff about I don't know, it could be anything somebody wants to keep private.
Right. Yeah, I mean, guess why not? I'm not seeing a negative so far, I guess.
It's
I'll read
scary
the
though,
article.
isn't it? To be like fully transparent. It's like reality
Oh, yeah.
TV. But I feel
Hey,
like
that's
I guess like a lot of the issues I see with the younger content creators or like the cancel culture, it almost seems like nobody believes them if they say I did this because XYZ. And I was like, what if they have full transparency? It's like then you know exactly why they did something, right? It's that concept that I was talking about recently, how it's like people will be like, I knew they did this. It's like you didn't though. You're going based off of stuff that's not really scientific in the way that you think it is, body language, whatever.
maybe I'm too out of touch with pop culture. Like, but who is like a young person that's been canceled recently?
Mm, when I say young, I'm talking like 25, 26, 27. I most recently that I can think of was that girl that's with Tana Mojo. What's her name? Hold on. Brooke something.
I don't know who that is. So
She was just recently canceled for racist tweets that she had from when she was 17, 16 or something like that.
that's pretty silly. I
It's
wonder
just
what
mob
the
in
tweets
general.
were.
Why, you didn't think I have an example or something? Is that why
I
you
was
asked?
curious. I thought of Cody Ko, but I think he's probably a little bit older than that. He's like super big on YouTube, but I think his big thing is I think like when he's 25, he was with someone that was like 17 or younger.
I know who you're talking about. That happened like, was that this year?
It came out this year, but it happened a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it had to do with some girl that was a streamer too, right?
Or no, another content creator, music, some other influencer. Yeah.
Yeah. What'd she say?
Well, I know, like that's how it kind of came out. Like where she on podcast, she was just openly like, "Oh yeah, that happened when I was like underage," and I think she had like said like years ago, like 6 years ago, and like it kind of only like came back to the light, and now talking about it a lot more.
Right. Was it just something they said in passing? That's crazy. Like
I think it was like on a podcast. Yeah,
that's like so casual, bitch.
And then like I think she said it multiple times after the fact.
I feel like Tana just talked about the same thing, which is crazy.
I think is not a person.
It's not the same.
I think there's a relation there. Let me look it up.
There's some older gentleman who's like getting TikTok donations.
Yeah, it was Tana.
That's the same guy?
Well, Cody Ko's the guy. Tana's the girl.
And Dan Dobrik is his friend or something?
Oh, I don't know if they're friends, but
at the time
that's another big YouTuber. They got canceled a couple years ago.
Yeah. He's from Chicago, isn't he?
I have no idea. I never got into him. I know he's super popular on YouTube though.
Why are you smiling? What do you know about him?
No, I was just Googling Tana and Cody Ko. I was like, oh yeah, that is the person. I was like, why do I know that name Tana? I was like, that's not someone I should know about.
This is so deterministic. Just saying. It's like a same
also,
dude.
I was in LA and Dobrik has a pizza place called Dobrik's. I saw it. I drove by it.
He's been to a club that I worked at, but I wasn't working when he was there, and I've heard mixed things. That's why I was like, I don't really know that much about him. He was like Logan Paul, kind of, wasn't he? Like crazy content or something, or Jake Paul.
So I'm sending Melanie the link up. It's cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know Dobrik got canceled. I don't know why. I forget what the reason was. It's there. There's so many. I guess you have a point because sometimes there's so many cancelizations. I'm like, yeah, I know what that one's about. I kind of didn't look it up or look into it.
Don't you think it's like, wow?
Well, so some of those like aren't really cancelizations. It's like much as like, oh, they're like huge influencers, like, and like their fans are like, oh yeah, we don't want to support you anymore.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like that's a little different than like if you get fired from your job.
I'm thinking more like harassment over it, I guess. Like I think of it like witch hunts. Just everybody giving their whatever. Anyhow, hi Melanie.
Hello. How are you?
Good.
So
How
I
are
keep
you?
waiting.
What?
I've been getting the runaround from Princess. Been kind of dicking me over a
I'm a
bit.
procrastinator. I'm sorry.
No, it's me. I'm the late one. I didn't know if we were gonna all film something or what was going on.
He does not keep me in the loop on anything though. And then he just like comes on your stream, gets the link, doesn't think to show me the link.
I'm the same way.
You're all so unprofessional.
I'm going off
It
of
is what it
torshaa.
is.
I'm like,
It is what it is.
I have upgrade though. I'm gonna send this to you. I set up a Google Calendar for my streaming calendar. So I actually have dates and times to stick by. Because I'm that kind of person where like I need like something on the calendar. Like, you got to go live at 8 p.m. or whatever.
Goals.
So yeah.
Thank you for the super chat. Present Striker Z. How are you? I'm so shy. Guys, talk.
We're still hanging out for the past like 20 minutes. We haven't decided what the topic's going to be yet. We still have a debate to react to.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I can't react to anything. I was in jail.
Oh, I see. Nothing. I thought just Comedy Central content. You can't react to anything while you're in probation.
I'm not in probation. It's just like why I just don't even really want to trigger it. You know.
That's fine. I just honestly don't know the rules of YouTube.
Like me neither, though. I'm just trying. I'm trying to pick up.
3 strikes.
Maybe you'll get money for your time in jail, like I'm gonna get.
What do you mean? What does that mean, Melanie?
I'm getting compensated because I was in jail during a particularly awful time for that jail. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I was kidding.
I didn't know you were ever in jail. Damn.
Yeah, I was in. I was
activism
kidding.
shit.
Where?
Protest.
Well, yeah, I live in London, Ontario, so that's where I did the activism.
Canada.
Yeah.
Canada. Nice. Do you guys get in trouble?
No, we don't have laws. Actually.
I feel like you.
Those Canadian prisons, I hear they're pretty rough. I don't know.
I always talk about how their interrogations, at least the ones I've seen on YouTube, look so comfortable. Like they give you a
I've never been
blanket.
interrogated.
Really?
They just, I guess they never thought it was necessary.
Oh. I guess I've never done it at like a police station, come to think of it. But I've been asked like many times at the bar, so what happened here? I had to give like police reports. I don't know if that's interrogating. Maybe not.
That's like getting a statement, yeah.
Were you in cuffs?
They were annoying. Like rude, you know?
Were you in cuffs?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Could you leave if you wanted?
Guys, if I ended up getting arrested, I would absolutely resist arrest. Are you kidding? No. Like I would get that charge.
Would you try to fake cry?
Me? I can't cry. Fake? No. I'm dead.
I lost my ability to cry as a kid because of the group homes. It's wild. Like at least like I only cry like out of the most like extreme circumstances. Even when my grandma died, like I barely cried. Barely.
It's always so weird when it happens though.
Yeah, it feels like it's not supposed to be happening. Like my body can't really do it.
Yeah. I feel that. What's everybody saying? Why is it popping right now? These chats. Guys, we have 72 viewers. That's a lot for me.
Viewers. God damn.
Speaking of the cancellation conversation, I am trying to get canceled right now.
You're trying to get canceled?
Why?
Because I think we've become so content craven that it's actually more of a grift to be canceled. And so if I get canceled, people will talk about me more.
Oh.
I have thought about that, or at least like if you do get canceled, you might as well like roll with it and be like, make content about it.
I'm the most canceled trans Furby ever.
I guess it's one way. Don't you think that's like counterproductive though? Isn't that just like we've become so, what did you say? We've become so content
craven. Yeah.
craven. Yeah. So then if you're just going to cancel yourself, you know, it's like, isn't that the same? Aren't you feeding the same thing?
Well,
To make
no,
people talk
because
about
you
you?
perpetuating the system.
because I think by being honest about it, I make people cringe, which will hopefully make them also cringe when they see other people doing it.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think people will believe
Also,
that it's like, I don't know, maybe not.
you can't really cancel yourself, really. Doesn't someone have to do that for you?
There is a server talking about canceling me right now
Why?
For what?
because I'm trying to get myself canceled.
Oh, so it's like a known thing. God damn.
I'm anti self promotion. Actually, that's kind of what I'm actually not to be deceptive, but that is like the more umbrella issue is first of all, none of us know what the fuck we're doing, and then secondly, it kind of just turns us. Okay. If I feel like it turns us into ghouls.
Okay.
Just like the whole game and stuff like that. So I try not to play it.
I kind of like playing it a little bit.
I feel like you gotta get in the game and play it. Change it by playing it different. Make people follow.
Yeah, but what if you can do the same thing without being beholden to like who likes your video or who doesn't, or who follows and who doesn't?
Well, I woke up and liked myself. Your like was extra. I don't think that way, but I think I love saying that. But I guess like do you mean like the people liking this type of content versus this of yours, or do you mean like
Becoming kind of numbers obsessed, right? Like if I did,
yeah,
and then not always like fully comprehending like what actually made the video good, or what people are truly reacting to, which is how we get like worse and worse content from a lot of channels.
I see what you mean. Also, I think could be like not paying attention to the right numbers, because I do think a lot of people are focusing on like a lot of key metrics they don't probably need to actually pay attention. Like there's probably one or two that actually matter, but this might paint a picture. Like Melanie, what's like your kind of goal for content creation? Like, do you have a number one kind of pillar that kind of drives you forward?
In this space, it's literally just having these discussions. So there's no content to it. When I do make content creation, it's going to be like electronics, nerdy shit. Like there's something called JTAG. I'm going to use it to fix electronics. If you know what that means, you know what that means.
when are you going to start it?
When I sort everything else out in my life first.
No.
Not everything, but like, you know what I mean.
It's never a right time.
I'm not saying, okay, whatever. There's a time where I made content, and the worst problem for me is like editing. I can't. Every like point of it is just not fun or interesting to me, and I don't. And I know it's work, but it's the thing that makes me not want to make content. So
you don't have to edit.
You just do it and don't edit none of your own stuff.
Why don't you do the Andrew Tate method and start a pyramid scheme and get people to make your content for you?
Start an MLM.
Money. Yeah, it's kind of like I kind of do get people to make my content for me. If you think about it,
no excuses. No,
I already do. Yeah, I already do.
Yeah, I feel like editing sucks, but who knows? Maybe you end up becoming really good at it and you really like it.
No.
I'm just saying.
I know myself well enough to like when something is kind of like repelling me from doing it again, I know it's not going to happen. It's sort of the same thing actually, because there's a lot of the same processes involved, but for some reason it feels completely different. As I really like digital painting, like just opening up like an image editor and using the paintbrush tools and stuff to actually make something. Yeah. I'm not very good, but the point being,
good.
Yeah, no, I just enjoy it. And so if editing could ever feel like that, then I do it. But just the way that they formatted in the process, like I've tried to Blackmagic by DaVinci, which is probably the closest thing I'll get to a streamlined workflow that works for me. And still, it was just, by the end of it, I never wanted to look at another editing software again. Like it was that bad.
I use just script, and what it does is it uploads the video into a Word document. So it's all transcript. So then I'll remember certain points in a conversation. If I want to clip it, like whatever, I'll type in the word. It takes me right to it like a Word doc. There's none of that.
I'm going to give you like some tea on me that I don't normally divulge, but I hate myself like afterwards.
You hate what?
When I listen to like the stuff I say and stuff like that, I really do sound like a pompous douchebag. So
do you have headphones?
Oh no, I'm on monitors. Yeah.
I feel like with headphones, it keeps me more aware, and then sometimes I just don't remember, and then I'll hear it back. But I mean, it is what it is. Some people care about that shit.
It's more like it's not like the way I talk. It's attitude, I guess. Affect.
So, fuck it.
The way you come on.
Own it. Who cares?
At least you're aware of it. You can try to change it.
And I'm kind of half kidding. It goes both ways for me. Sometimes I hate the way I sound. Sometimes I love the way I sound. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty getting used to your own voice. Takes
I love actually like I've been trying to make it softer, but like when I hear this, it kind of suits my Furby. I
like your voice. I find it soothing. That's why I was listening to y'all when I got off. It's like, this is nice. I'm going to bed.
Fall asleep to it.
Maybe it's just preference.
Apparently going to bed means lingering in chat, but whatever.
Speaking of falling asleep, we're going to talk about free will for 3 hours starting right now.
No. We're doing the debate review. Holy shit. And Torshaa, I think you will have a lot to say.
We can't react to anything right now.
I know we're gonna have to make up our own content. God damn it! We can do the free will shit.
Okay, no, let's actually like we kind of got into mysticism last night, and I'm agnostic, which means I don't believe that there's no mysticism, but I think if it's there, it's like probably is in a quantum way. Because I don't see many other kind of like ways it could work in like the material, like Newtonian world that is more easier for us to observe.
I might need a reminder because I was pretty tired last night, but when did mysticism come up?
Later. I remember. I was saying, what did I say? I was like,
you were making me feel really embarrassed, like not embarrassed, but just like,
really?
I'm so bad at taking compliments because you were like talking about like the shamanism and the schizotypal, and I was like, whoa, no one's ever made me feel good about that before.
Well, I know when I talk about, if I say mental illness, because I hate that word in general, I prefer mental health, but it just doesn't flow the same in certain conversations. So it's like when people hear me say it, because I come off smug all the time, it's like, oh, they're saying that like it's a bad thing. I'm like, no, it's not a bad thing. It's just like, hi, Dad. Sorry. It's just like
Hey, George's dad.
Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Your daughter is currently talking to a fox Furby on the internet. How does that make you feel?
I'd be like, what? You'd be so confused.
Where's your daughter online at whatever time it is?
Hopefully not talking to a fox Furby of all things.
He's watching. I've walked in. He's listening. I was like, oh, hi, Dad. Awkward.
Number one fan.
Anyways, when I say it, I think a lot of people just have a negative connotation to it. So I don't know if I probably came off bad though when I say it.
No. What did I say that made you? No, I said you made me feel good about like having schizotypal.
Oh yeah, I was just saying like I know whenever I say mental illness before. I never elaborate on it because I forget.
Oh, okay. No, I do the same thing. It's like one of those things where at the end of the day, I'm a little bit more tolerant to like one-off word stuff. Sometimes I'm not, but I guess I try to be because we are trying to be expedient, right? And so that's just kind of the thing that happens.
Sometimes we want to talk for 3 hours.
And we do.
Yeah, what the hell? Is that bad, princess?
No, I'm saying literally sometimes we don't want to be expedient. Sometimes we want to be long-winded. Sometimes it's James' the dating show, and I'm like, wrap it up. Keep it under 5 minutes.
So Torshaa, you never got to see, like when I started, I actually started as Ninetails Cosmic Fox. And
Really?
most people know Ninetales either from Naruto or Pokemon, which makes me upset. But it's okay because it kind of like hides my true power level. Because where I actually get it from is from the Kitsune lore from Japanese mythology.
Wait, that's so cool. So nerdy. I don't know that much about Japanese mythology. I know
it's
anime.
not even like I'm not even like a Japan fan that much. Like I kind of like Shinto as a religion, but yeah, not that much. Like I've seen anime growing up and stuff, but it's not that I'm not big on it. But with that, like that's like the only lore that
Candace, did you put the link in the chat?
I put it in my chat, yeah. Is that cool?
Sabotage.
No. No, it's not. We have to be careful. No, it's fine. That's fine. As long as everybody's appropriate. Jesus.
A king wanted to come up, but I think I can handle him.
This is my life.
You're on the keys though.
So okay, so anyways, I just wanted to get through this. It's kind of funny because I hadn't thought about it in a while since I'm just like, I'm not trying to appropriate any culture. So I'm not actually trying to be like, this is my spirituality. Ha ha. But it really does speak to me, just kind of like just all of it. And something about foxes that has like a spiritual meaning to me that's hard to describe. But it has
dog.
Well, it's actually kind of like a half cat, half dog. Like they're like an alloy of those two things. Do you know that foxes have night vision, kind of like cats? They have the retractable claws, and they have one other thing that I can't remember. It's always the third thing I forget that makes them like cats, more like cats than dogs.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat. What is blackballed? Is that like a?
I forget.
I think he's just joking. That I deleted the link, and he was not happy about that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So I said, just hit me up on Discord. I'll send you in private, King. There you go.
I'm like, if we were on your channel solely, like all the merrier. Do you hear this shit? It's loud and shit. Anyways, I can't stay focused. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Say that again about the foxes.
Actually, I'm gonna read. Oh yeah, the foxes being like kind of half cat and half dog in my mind. But like with the lore, so one of the things that they're like fox women are accused of, especially it starts from China more than anything, is like visiting men in their sleep and like I guess like sucking their soul out of their peens.
Like Jennifer's body, kind of. Like
I've never heard of that. What is that?
Have you seen Jennifer's Body?
I've never seen it, but I know what it is.
I love that movie. Just
Megan Fox is in it. I know that.
Yeah,
she's like a vampire.
She like lights her tongue on fire.
Oh, I don't know if I want to see it then.
No, it's good.
Oh, okay, good. Like it's not like as if I lit my tongue on fire and it would burn and I'd scream in agony. She was cool about it.
She was like demonic about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She would like eat boys' souls. Boys.
Okay. So to finish the story, like I don't know. Sometimes people have said that like they can't get their minds off me and stuff. Whatever. I don't care. People have crushes. But like the other day, I felt visited by someone in the same way that was kind of described, and it was just like, "Whoa, something's here. Whoa, I'm horny," and then I just like stuff. Whether it was my brain, I don't know. It happened, but it was like in that moment, I kind of believed in that lore again, and it was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
when was this? Like yesterday?
Well, now I'm gonna dox myself. Jesus, whoever did this is gonna be like, yes, it worked.
Do you guys do? Is this like voodoo shit? You gotta break it down for me more. Do people send
a potion?
Yeah, like is this like a thought that somebody just sent telepathically your way? What are the vibes?
If I've ever done it, I don't know how it works.
Interesting.
I do have like a weird inhibition, and this is like I've just always had this since I was a kid. Like whenever I do have a crush on somebody, I don't like to fantasize about them in case they can like pick up on it. They're like, "Whoa, they're way too into me. I can't do this." Too soon.
It's like they can see your fucking browser and you put it on incognito, but like in your head.
Oh, I shit you not. Like one of the reasons I knew my partner was, which by the way, quote unquote partner, but it is what it is at the moment. Anyways, one of the reasons I knew he was into trans people is because he accidentally let his browser history show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
It's like, well, that
beautiful.
cat.
How do you let
Kind
that
of.
slip? Yeah.
uTorrent.
People still use torrents? Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck is torrent?
You
Me?
see?
How you download things without like having to pay for them.
Like the Tor? Like Tor?
Torrents.
No,
Torrents.
different.
What's Tor?
It's like Kazaa, but different. You were in Napster back in the day?
It's like it, but yeah, different. Like LimeWire.
Yeah.
Wait, so have you ever had any proof of that situation? I'm like, did you ever have proof that they knew that you were thinking about them or something?
No, it's just kind of like an insecurity, I think. Because
Really?
there's a point when I was a kid, I kind of thought girls could read minds.
I feel like they can, honestly.
In
I feel like
some ways.
that's not an off thought. Like,
But like it was like I was willing to believe that it was like all like everybody was keeping it to themselves. All the boys were just being left way the fuck out of the loop.
or maybe it's just empathy.
Yeah. And I don't know. I really don't know how I came up with that belief at all.
It's fascinating though. Tell us more. I love this shit.
Have you ever had a night terror?
I have had like sleep paralysis when I would sleep on my back.
Different
No,
stories why I've never had that.
I haven't had nightmares for like as long as I can remember. I don't even remember what my last nightmare really was.
Have you had dreams?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
man. Sometimes my dreams go harder than like not like. Of course, they go harder than reality. We know what I mean, but like with like the feels,
Yeah.
with like I would like sometimes I'm just like, no, take me back, please. That was and not like hot woman kind of thing, but just like the feeling of being in that setting and like the atmosphere and just I don't know. I visit places more than anything's in my dreams. I just visit places all the time.
I've gone like back to
Wait
sleep,
a minute.
so I can like go back to the dream.
Do you fly?
But
I fly in mine.
I did that a lot as a kid. In fact, I went through most of the things you can do in dreams, including lucid dreaming and whatever the fuck the other thing is.
Like flying.
Yeah,
I have a
around when I
question.
was a teenager.
Have you ever been a Furby in your dream?
Have I ever what?
Been a Furby?
No.
I used to put my finger in my Furby's mouth and make it go, eh.
Yeah.
That's so specific.
I was demonic. Just like all the time. I have like vivid memories of it. Hi, King.
Do you feel bad? Or was it like
No.
I feel like I violated it.
I probably did, honestly. It's like I don't know.
King,
Didn't it make the noise?
Your audio is shit.
Oh my gosh, I do apologize. I can't quite hear too well. Thank you guys for 1 second. Now that I know that this link is open in Torshaa,
Yes.
You're
Sorry.
not blackballed.
if you felt, I understand what you were worried about. You don't want no crazy things getting said and stuff. Because
I'm impulsive. I'll start
that is
it.
getting irritating. That is getting irritating, and that's kind of what I want to talk about and bring to the light of maybe the people that might think that I have even a voice for the assholes, I guess, to let them know that with the shit that Mel and all these people, I'm going to come back in a second. When,
I didn't do it.
I just need to check this out for a second now that I got the link. Know that I'm coming and know that we're doing this. And now let's
we're
hype
doing
it up a little bit. Let's hype it up a little bit. Quit smiling, girl.
We're gonna get crazy up in here.
And give me a second. I'll see y'all in a minute.
Do what?
I don't know.
I don't know. He's gonna get hyped up and come back. I don't know.
Do I need a beer? Like, Jesus.
You probably should.
I have the bong cracked right away just because it's
Maybe we should go on Prancess's channel and do it. I'm like,
we can trust King. I promise he'll be a good favor.
he's a little he's loud, but he's not he's more bark than bite, luckily. Oh, okay. So
any bad words. That's what we're worried about. I don't know.
So I feel like
I also not bring him back. Go ahead.
I I feel like I underdid the like fox explanation thing, because like another thing for it is like it's kind of like the hybrid of like masculine form but with feminine energies, because they are canines, right? And I see pretty much all canines as just being like masculine.
Interesting. I've never thought that.
Well, all
Ever.
felines see very feminine to me. So
I see it. I see it. The word.
So it's very archaic. It's very childish, but just in that sense, foxes to me seem to be like the one species that has their foot in both realms, which is kind of how I feel in like a material way, if that makes sense.
It's so fucking weird you're saying this right now, because I had a friend that was like a tech, like a mechanic, who was very feminine and was obsessed with foxes. Like
there is something about fox people, I swear to God.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't the bottom says anymore. Like usually they would say like back in the day, like, oh, foxy lady or a bunch of foxes. Would they be like women?
Sure, I don't think that's necessarily
it. Yeah.
Because in that case, I would just identify with a cat. If I was like femme-maxing, I would just identify as a cat.
Yeah.
I see what you mean about the cats being feminine, but yeah, I don't like that dichotomy. I don't know. Cats can be masculine or feminine.
No, cats cannot be masculine.
No, a lion.
Have you seen them though? They're very feminine.
I always think of Lady and the Tramp, the scene with the Siamese cats.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I like them.
They're supposed to be evil.
Don't look back in that like, and they're kind of like, ooh.
A little racist. Yeah, it's a little racist. But
don't say that. Maybe we should go to Process's channel. It's like making me super paranoid.
I didn't say it.
Don't bring leftists on the stream, then, I guess. If you don't
talk about let's talk about only good things. Disney princesses. I don't know. So Melanie, Naruto was not involved at all in your naming?
I don't know that it wasn't, because I did watch it as a kid, but it's not like I thought like, oh, the nine-tailed fox from Naruto is so cool. So that's what it's gonna. No, it was like, it just always kind of annoyed me that that's what people thought, because it was like, I remember it still can make me cry, like reading that Wikipedia about just the Wikipedia, right? Not any like actual deep lore. And it was like, oh my God, how does this know me? What the fuck? Like nothing else had ever done that like that to me before.
Really?
Yep.
Not even like horoscopes, MBTI. Nothing?
Horoscopes kind of, it feels like they're designed to leave you wanting more. I like horoscopes.
Been approached by a psychic?
No.
On the street? Like
yeah,
they try to sell
I'm not that attracted to them, I guess.
I have, and they told me some crazy shit about somebody that passed away, and their message to like a friend of mine. It was like wild. It was just like,
do you know what cold reading is?
What is it?
Do you know what cold reading is?
This was like fucking weird process. I don't think it's cold reading. They come up to me like, they gave me the person's full fucking name. I was just like, okay. And they were like, yeah, they just wanted me to pass a message to so-and-so who was a friend of mine. I'm not going to put their name. And I was like, okay, what's the message? It was like very fucking specific. And I was like, okay. And then I called my friend and they were like crying because they were like, oh my God. It like was the thing. It was weird, but
when I was Wiccan, I actually used tarot cards a lot, and I still kind of believe it's chance, but when they do hit, like it's freaky. Like it can get really like into there.
Yeah.
I haven't actually thought too much about like how likely is it or isn't, and looked at like what the various cards actually say versus how different they are. But when you use them, it's certainly convincing.
I think if you allow them to work, kind of like manifestation, it's like you can almost manifest that stuff. I think that to me is deterministic.
Except can we manifest things if someone else is trying to manifest the counter to that?
I don't think anybody would be working against you unless you really fucked up some person.
So what if I want a storm? What if I want a thunderstorm and yet somebody else is having their birthday party outside at that moment?
Isn't that why the storms go away so quickly? You can do both.
Wow.
I think
Okay.
you even agree to whatever extent manifesting exists. You can't manifest the weather. You wouldn't say you have that much control, right?
Sometimes
I think the weather is determined by. Never mind. I won't go there. Bye.
Well, I'll say I think I'm unique on this panel.
How many spiders you killed that day?
I think it's the only one who I think there's no paranormal evidence for anything. So I'm boring. I think there's no ghosts, no psychics, none of that. I don't believe it.
But what if it disappears when we try to observe it because of the collapsing particle phenomenon?
There's no good evidence to base it on, so I don't believe it.
Well, we wouldn't be able to get evidence because every time we tried to test for it, it would turn into a wave instead, and maybe we're not testing for waves.
I would never believe in that thing because it cannot be demonstrated or seen.
But what if you could actually use it though?
What do you mean?
Well, I guess that would be different because there's something you actually could measure.
Or no, just use, not measure, just use. Like you had the ability to manifest things.
Well, to me, I think in particular, I wasn't talking about manifestation because I think that could. I don't think I believe in the official definition, but I can imagine like, hey, if you put your mind to it and you have something in your mind, it might be easier to accomplish that thing. I wouldn't go so far as to be like you're manifesting it, maybe, but I can see it having some impact if it makes sense.
Okay, so let's. This is actually a good example. Indian in the Cupboard. You've seen that movie, right? Again,
A very, very, very long time ago.
Doesn't age well, that name, but who cares? With that idea, right? If that worked for you, you wouldn't deny it afterwards, right?
Oh, actually, I thought about this the last debate we had. That's an interesting topic. I was thinking about this because I'm an atheist, and like you would think if there's some evidence, I would be open to it. But that being said, if like God came down from the heavens, like, princess, I'm the Christian God, believe in me. My first thought would be like, oh, I must be having like a mental breakdown. I must be going insane. I just had a hallucination. My first thought would probably not be like, oh, that's God talking to me.
That's assuming that you have capacity during it.
True.
I mean, we could just be in a coma the whole
I think
time.
that'd be my first thought.
I think there's some people that wouldn't be able to reality test their way out of it.
Yeah, I would never know how it actually.
So we would never know.
but I do think I would lean more that way than actually believing it was God if I had the mindset I have now.
Because you talked to me about this, because I remember I said this shit and you were like, I've never thought about that. I was like, thank you. I did one good thing. I got one because I was like, how would you?
I think I heard Matt Dillon talk about this before, but no, I mean, I always agree.
No
I always
fucking way. No, I would be sus if I don't think I've ever heard any atheist talk about it. I would like to.
Okay, no, I mean, I can give you.
How do you decipher between like mental illness and religion? I don't think I've seen anybody do that.
They would say, yeah, you can't. You would say, yeah.
I take that back. Robert Sapolsky. Robert Sapolsky did.
I was gonna beat like, what about Sapolsky?
Yeah, but that was an episode that was like hard. They didn't put it up right away. That was the biological underpinnings of religiosity.
Yeah.
Meaning like he didn't want to put it up there because it's probably offensive. So I don't think any atheist is talking about it like just because it's YouTube. But unless you heard, if you do, send it to me because I literally want to watch somebody else be able to put it in words better because I don't know how.
So I don't know how true it is, but I do have a lot of things coming together for me at the moment, or at least a lot of things that could have been really bad are no longer bad. And I think, I think of every kind of like action I take as being its own kind of mini ritual that tells the universe what kind of universe I want to live in. And I know that sounds
like intention.
Sort of
an intention or something. Sort of. It's called something like that, isn't it?
You know how rituals started, right? Like it would be like, okay, we want some food. And so we'd build up a clay calf and then we'd hunt it down. and hope that some divine being will see it and then give us food. With that same idea in mind, like, so if I need money and then I see a nickel on the ground, I don't think like, oh, I don't need that nickel. I think, well, maybe if I grab it, I'll find another nickel and then another and another.
Yeah. Do you think like, oh, wow, I manifested this. It must be that, or not really?
I'm agnostic, so I'm not saying I know, but I'm pretty sure it's just cognitive. There's even times like dumpster diving where like, it's like, oh, I got to go check that place out. And then there's stuff there and it's like, wow, how did I know that? But then it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, well, I've visited this place like 100 times. I probably know statistically how likely it is and how long I've waited since the last time. And then just like that impulse.
Wait, I don't know why I've never asked. Hold on. I don't know why I've never asked you this. I have to ask you a question. How would you discern between God speaking to you and like, what would you call it? Like a testimony? As somebody who's gone through psychosis. You said you have been through psychosis, right?
You mean like a hallucination?
Yeah.
Oh.
And kind of a delusion. Can it be both?
The thing is I really don't believe God will ever talk to me. I'm probably not on his nice list. I'm on his naughty list. So.
But how would you?
Wait, that's fantastic. Sorry.
That would give me that's a great reason to talk to you. Though.
Sorry, what was that, Princess?
He loves to talk to people on the naughty list. He talks to them a lot. So
I thought that was the devil.
Doesn't. He sends us to hell and hopes we pick it up without him.
Yeah, I thought that's why. I thought that's why the devil's in my DMs.
Santa? I was talking about God. Sorry.
No, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
I know, I was being silly. Wait, but this is like the question I would only desperately want to ask my family member, but they don't have insight.
I think if you're honest, you had to say you can't.
It's sad.
I think if you're truly honest, you had to say you can't tell the difference.
No, I think there's something that distinguishes it, but I don't think we have the language for it yet.
I just have yet to take enough hallucinogens to actually not be able to reality test when I'm hallucinating. So I'm not sure like how possible it really is.
You've never had religious delusions or hallucinations?
Oh, I have. Oh, like I've literally thought I was a shaman at certain points. And
you probably are, honestly. I feel like that's valid. Not in a bad way.
Are you religious? Are you religious at all?
I used to be. Not anymore.
I was just curious.
Yeah, I went to Catholic school.
And like, I've had a lot of, I never really had much of a reason to be religious as a kid. So I'll put it that way. But to me, it was always like, even when I was 6, I remember there was like this bright star outside my window, probably Venus or Sirius or one of those typical boring stars or planets. But like, and I was like, oh, it's an angel in the sky because of all that imagery you see from like Christianity and stuff. And so like, I was really like in a bad way at that place at the time. And so I was like, please, for the love of God, figure out a way to get me out of here. Not really knowing where I would go, but and then there was another time where, as a way of coping with not seeing my mom, I had like this sort of like breakdown as like a 7-year-old, and I was like, let me go out on my own and find my mom. I can do it. I can hear her calling to me, even though I don't think I actually could. But it was like, I don't know, my brain was telling me to say that for some reason, and it was just a really like weird breakdown.
OCD a little bit? Like a
I
compulsion?
I think it actually fits more into like very, very, very like early signs of schizotypal.
Interesting. Dude, this sounds like my fucking history. Maybe I am. I'm done. Interesting. Have you been formally diagnosed?
Not with schizotypal. My mom is formally diagnosed with schizoaffective though.
Good. Yeah, but if you know you fit in like a category, I don't mind like a self-diagnosis. I was just wondering.
Yeah, the only thing is I avoid it because we are still being treated here in Ontario, at least, with electroshock therapy. And
wait, what?
I'm
against your will?
Or like sometimes, and I'm just deathly afraid of that. So I'm trying to minimize how many diagnoses I have.
Wait, I don't think they would do that without your consent in Canada.
If you get formed and you're considered to be like severe enough, they will. As like a last resort kind of thing. I know several people who have had it. I know several people who have had it, including my mom's boyfriend. Including my mom's boyfriend has had it.
because sometimes the disease itself can make somebody look like they had like a chemical lobotomy. Like that really bothers me when people say chemical lobotomies. And I'm like, are you sure it's not the disease? You know, just like untreated? Because I've seen both, you know? It's sad. But
the thing is, like, what I know about my brain is it's kind of like, it's got a very fine but robust balance in it that have taken me a long time to reestablish. Yeah. And I'm super sensitive to a lot of things that can easily disrupt it, but I can usually find my way back. Yeah. What I know about electroshock therapy is that it tends to make people so that way they can't use like, if it'll change their behavior patterns so drastically that they can't act like the way that they used to. And I'm pretty good at self-regulating. I think even if I do go into like a schizotypal break and believe that God exists and everything, I'm mostly just going to be like, okay, this probably still isn't real. I'm just going to keep it to myself. So
yeah, you don't reach like a full-blown, I mean, you could, but not really.
Because I recognize it now, and I just don't like feed into it. I don't like start looking up like I don't start buying tarot cards and crystals and meditating on the crystals and stuff. Like I still meditate, but I don't try to make it into something that it's not, kind of thing.
You're skeptical. Like if you go that way, you'd be like, I probably shouldn't do that. It's like,
yeah, it just like it's a grounding mechanism for me, because definitely like with just the way things sometimes feel, and like like I swear I see like flows in between things that aren't like energy or anything like that, but it's kind of like waves, and then that makes me think like, whoa, maybe there is something magical going on, and only I can see it. And it's like, no, I probably just have some weird image processing issues.
I'm done. I kind of like the idea of holding both beliefs. You know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You know,
the problem is like, oh, hey Tom.
Wait, this is good. Keep going.
Yeah, like
I find this to be very healing.
I've never seen Tommy, you're here on my good word, so please be in a good behavior. That's all.
For sure.
I know Tommy.
I have sleeves on.
It's never been like useful in a way to me that's like it then reveals something that otherwise wouldn't be revealed there. Especially since it would be like, if something was like in a box and I didn't know what it was, then that would be the sort of thing that I'd expect to see. So it's just like, I don't know. It's like when I'm on my bike and you're just like moving around, and then like I feel like I'm in sync with everything, and that's sometimes when it will happen. But that's about it.
When you're moving, like on a bike, but you're not.
It can happen in like any circumstance, and it's not like huge, right? It's just like almost out of the corner of my eye, but sometimes right in front of me as well, just like a shimmer, or like a moving shadow between two things. And again, not like,
maybe you're dehydrated. Just kidding.
Maybe.
So I mean, humans have like small visual hallucinations.
Well, they're not small. When I say like they're insignificant, I mean like they don't like.
Until you're good. Or Torsh, can you mute King until he's back?
Sorry. I'm just so focused.
No worries.
It's like it's big enough that it kind of like conforms to other things, if that makes sense. So it looks like it's actually there, but it's not like, I don't know how to put it. I'm still pretty sure like you're kind of right that it's like a temporal cognitive glitch, but it's still like those glitches, you know, if you try to look at them, they just disappear instantly, right? Like they're not really there. That thing, I can look at it and it disappears slowly. So I still don't know what to make of it. Actually,
you're operating into realities, honestly, which sounds bizarre, but I think it's happening.
Because I brought this up earlier. I don't know if you ever heard this, Mel. Like, but you said like you've had sleep paralysis. Some people report like seeing like a weird demon shadow creature like hovering over them. Like,
they run in through your room. One made out with me. It was so weird and sat me upright. Yeah, it freaked me out. I had them like consistently for.
Maybe that's what visited me. Aw. They're just really. They're just like little sex imps. Okay, they just want to have a little sex and then go away.
It's just like it crawled in weird because you wake up and you're like in your room. It's very hard to. Whoa! I just had. Wait a minute. We were talking about time yesterday, weren't we?
Sort of. We didn't really get that deep into it.
Because I was about to say everything looks like you wake up in your room. The only thing that keeps you realizing it's a dream is if you look at the time and like it'll be melting. You won't be able to read the time, and that's how I would know I was in a dream state.
Yeah, I've definitely never had that.
Looking at the clock to tell if they're in a dream.
Yeah, just to like, dude, I would try to like scream. And I remember my friend was like, it sounded like you were chewing on rocks. I was like, that's crazy. That's creepy.
Oh, yeah, that's grinding your teeth.
Yeah, but I was like, I knew that I was trying to communicate them to wake me up because I was really scared. I knew if I could like touch them, but
I've heard other people have similar stories where like they wake up like they basically are like fully awake, but their body's not awake, and like they're stuck in bed. You're just like,
yeah, it sucks.
Just can't move.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable.
I think it's unfair that these sex imps can visit us in our sleep, but we can't visit them in their sleep.
What are we?
You're already looking for revenge. Like I'm done. This bitch.
What were you saying, Tommy?
Oh, Tommy.
I tried to give him some time to talk. Oh well.
I think he's trolling. I think he's doing like the kind of like not so what's the word I'm thinking of?
He's not
obnoxious.
Desperate. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not doing like the obnoxious role.
He's trying to cut us off. Yeah. Aww. But I did want to, because I don't think we actually answered this question. I think it's a really interesting one about like, I think if you are if you're like an individual, you're in your own body, and you have if God comes down and talks to you, I think if you be honest with yourself, you can't tell if that was actually happening or if that was a mental breakdown.
No, it's like I said, like I'll never believe I'm important enough to God for God to ever want to talk to me. So your first thought would be it's a delusion. Yeah. Now, if a fox, like if I'm walking at night and then I see a fox and it comes up to me and it's like, you actually are a messenger for Inari, the rice god. Please join us under the Kitsunebi. Then I'd be like, oh yeah, definitely.
No way. You wouldn't be like, maybe not.
That's actually so the reason I said at night is kind of funny. So one time I had run away as a kid from a group home, and I was kind of probably a little bit more than manic, and definitely not. I hadn't taken my meds for a few days, so I'm walking down this pathway,
living your best life.
Yeah, until like I'm walking down this pathway in the full moonlight. It's kind of just like obviously no one around. It's the middle of the night. And then all of a sudden, this white fucking dog looks like a wolf, just runs past me. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And why, like, is it gonna like fuck with me in a second or something? So I had like first like just like sheer terror. And then like, wait, what is going on? And then funnily enough, it must have been someone's dog because that person walked by me as like, I was like standing there like frozen staring at their dog.
What the fuck?
How would you react?
Did you know that you were manic?
At that time, no. I definitely took some like hindsight. Probably trying to swim across the Detroit River so I could go visit my long lost love. Yeah, that was good. That was when I was like, okay, I need some help.
When did it hit you? When you were like halfway in the water? Like,
oh no, the undercurrent. Not even just the current was starting to take me into Lake St. Clair. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to get swept out into there. That's a bit scary.
Did you try to fight back from the current?
When I was swimming back, I had to. Otherwise, it would have swept me out into the lake.
I thought you're supposed to go with the flow. Aren't you?
Not if you don't want to get swept into the lake.
No, I'm serious. Like, it's dangerous if you...
Oh, yeah, for undertow and stuff.
I don't know the different ones, honestly. I just thought
it could be. All I was thinking about, though, is like, okay, I'm not even going to make it to the island that's halfway. So, just get back to shore before I'm actually out in the lake.
Were you cold?
No, it was middle of summer. I was actually sleeping on the beach at the time. There's like this stupid little beach there. And it's, by the way, do not go there with your family. It's called Sandpoint Beach. And I found like this little area you could sleep in. Although I think I also got some sort of a weird fungus on my leg. It wasn't big. It wasn't big, but it was like this brown patch. and then like the skin eventually just like all died and fell off as like one big clump.
Whoa. Ew.
Yeah. Oh, and I had another experience like that on that beach. I just remembered. So I was walking out there in the middle of the night, and someone had made, like, I shit you not, like a full like size kind of sand person with hair and everything lying like parallel to the water, so it looked like the body had washed up.
Ew.
And
why do you
like,
do that?
I don't know, but it like I thought I had legit found a body. I froze. I had that same terror response. I looked up as closely as I could before wanting to throw up because it was dark and I couldn't really see it. But like as soon as I saw like it had hair, I was like, oh God, right? So then I ran to go tell somebody. They had a flashlight, so they came back and they're like, I think is that seaweed for the hair? It's like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh my God.
But I was like, you have no idea. I don't know if it's normal to like when you find a body, just like you go on like pins and needles and everything just like freezes. Like, oh my God, that's a body.
Yeah, because it's just so out of realm. It's like it's nothing you would think you ever see. You can like conceptualize it, but
it's almost like your body, like you can have a reaction to something you've never seen before, like a new novel you've seen before, and you have a reaction to it.
Just ignore him.
He's not wrong.
Right, but again, what if I suddenly realize that I have necrophilia?
Shh, don't say shit like that.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
We are moving to Francis's channel. I'm done.
I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry because like I'm not used to people who actually care about that. Like, Process understands where I'm coming from. Like, it's just people will say the worst shit. I'm trying, and I just that one moment I forgot. I was like,
guys, don't say anything. Necrophilia. Jesus, like I'm done. Oh my God.
It wasn't even Tommy, so.
It's funny.
We are adults, though. Like, why?
I'm on thin ice with YouTube. Okay, I'm on thin ice.
The algorithm. Opus Don says, "Have you heard of the exploding whale?" Like,
no.
I've heard of stories like where like whales get beached and like just because they die like gas fills up in there. You can't
describe this imagery based on guidelines. Swear to these men.
Can we describe the smell?
No.
I thought that was okay. Sorry, I thought I could describe a whale.
I think maybe
imagine a balloon full of helium.
Okay, I'm gonna meet you on Process's channel. I'm done. You guys are giving me anxiety.
I stopped. It was a genuine accident. He is the one who's keeping it going because he's.
I thought saying something completely different was
the more I get to know you, the more I start to see your smile as like a shit-eating grin or like the shit disturber grin. You know what I mean? Like where like you're always up to something.
It was a little shit stirring, but I thought analogies were okay. I thought that'd be safe.
People don't like that. Understandably so, because they have like empathy.
But now let's talk about how we can manifest things with our thoughts.
No.
Right. Torches, you have the guidance. You're the more knowledgeable about what we can and cannot talk about.
Honestly, just kick me off if I do it again.
I would rather us be like free flowing. That's why I'm like
a different stream. Yeah.
Just I gotta be careful up until like the 27th. I do.
Ooh, that's a long time. I mean, I'm already streaming, so you can end your stream.
Oh, are you? So I don't just okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take my dogs out first, but then I'll come over.
You're gonna leave me alone with Process L. I'm just kidding.
Oh no! How dare!
I feel like he's well behaved when he's with you. I feel like I'm the one. I just like ask for this.
I just totally like no. We're the one like. Apparently, when I'm around, he's the one who starts like doing analogies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm learning every day. I learn like a thing you can't do on YouTube. I'm like, okay,
you can't stop wasting my time for one thing.
Oh my God! Don't be rude. Wait, don't be rude to Microsoft, guys.
Damn, I haven't heard that one in a long time.
Why do they call you that?
So one of the first streams I ever did was a e-dating stream, and I got to go to roast, and it was hilarious that I have Microsoft developer Riz. I assume that's the reference to that.
Oh, guys
Honestly,
are so weird. So strange.
And it's separately saying I look like a Microsoft guy.
Can I put my pajamas on? Do you guys want to debate after this and do something like productive?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Pick a topic.
Not free will. All right, me and Melanie will discuss. We'll have one ready when you come back.
Okay, I'll be listening because I'll be outside too with my dogs.
Aw. Pet those dogs.
Okay, I'll be back. Goodbye, guys.
See ya. Wait, so we're moving to your